have the Bavar tree.
There's no more nuclear facility. You have to cross that off the list. Right? That was eliminated yesterday.
No, just portion of it. They have to put that.
The nuclear facilities, new pronouns were was, okay? Don't exist anymore. Let's move on.
So Pepe, you were incorrect. They make their own weapons. They use them.
Look at Tel Aviv. We're talking about Palestine, but if you want to talk about Israel, sure. If you want to talk about Israel, well, I know they had some like F-15s and maybe F-14 Tomcats or some shit that was left over from the Shah.
At Tel Aviv.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys. That's why you guys can't intercept any of the new 5th generation fighters that go into your into the Iranian airspace and bomb shit at will. Like you guys can't do anything about it.
But Pepe, you were wrong. You said they don't create weapons. They use their own weapons.
Sure. Yeah, they had like 19. Yeah, they were making over half a century.
That's a different argument. You said they don't create weapons. They're using their weapons right now.
Okay, Israel. Yeah, but Israel creates more advanced weaponry than Iran does. What the fuck are you talking about?
Stop giving them U.S. taxpayers money.
So why is Israel asking for U.S. help? You know, it's
why? I can be against, like I said, just because I'm against giving Israel money does not mean that I'm gonna take like Israel's Iran's side. They're a bunch of fucking.
No, you don't have.
Nobody fucking likes them.
You don't have to. But just to answer your question, you said Israel create stuff. They're amazing.
Yes, they create shit. They create modern shit.
Yeah, but
they create modern shit. Iran does not create modern shit. That is a fucking fact. In fact, Israel creates shit that other first world countries and first world militaries will utilize their fucking equipment. That is not the same. Cannot be said for fucking Iran. Nobody uses that fucking shit that lives in the first world.
Okay, so Israel don't need your help. In other words, they don't need your help.
But Iran relies on China.
I can also create a nuclear weapon.
And so the reality here is that this is not just about Iran and Israel. This is about the U.S. and China. And hey, if China would stay out of the Middle East, we would probably stay out of the Middle East. But that's not how the world works, and we know that. We know that if we put out of the Middle East, our enemies will nevertheless poke their noses in and try to make that space their space and control it. And that's why we have to be involved, Joe.
Yeah.
And that's why you should be thinking about. That's why you should be thinking about what does the U.S. want.
So which country has Chinese military in the
What the U.S. wants is Israel there. And so you should want Israel there.
Joe, you keep on bringing up how but Israel has to use their stuff. Israel has to use their stuff. Like the reality is though is that even if you look at Ukraine, for example. What did we do to Ukraine? We gave them a bunch of fucking, basically modern weapons to help fight against Russia. That's normal for countries that are allies.
Aaron, you give Israel the most money.
Nobody gives Brian Curry what you have to say, Aaron. Be quiet.
Yeah, because Jews don't like.
Will you shut your fucking cheap mouth, Aaron? Jesus Christ.
Matt, can you drop Aaron?
We cannot understand you. Go fuck off.
The tikka masala is happening.
Yeah, that I know.
Okay, yes. Free Bombay in the chat. Okay, go ahead, Pepe.
You're the worst example.
Well, no, I want to know. This is what I want to know. Okay. So what I want to know is why is it a fucking problem that we give Israel weapons or sell them weapons, whatever, but when we do it. Okay, even when it came to war, when we ended up going to war in Afghanistan, there were a bunch of countries, primarily Western countries, who, even though it was us who got attacked, they decided not only were they going to give us, we'd sell weapons to each other, but they were going to end up putting their men and women in that country, in Afghanistan. Same thing happened with Iraq.
Okay, I will answer you. So first off, that's not a problem. You can sell them a bunch of weapons, right? But here's the issue. Israel is not only getting weapons. They are the country that gets most amount of money.
I know. Why does that fucking matter to you? Why does that matter to you?
I will answer you. So the weapons they get from the United States of America, they use that money, right? American taxpayer money, to fucking control.
But you're not in the